Hey folks, David Hubbell here. For the last 2 years you've been watching me grow my mirliton. Well, last year didn't really count because it only got 3, but this year I've had a pretty good bounty. So what I thought I'd do is I'd start showing you some of the various recipes that you can make with it. In the first episode I'm going to show you how to make a Mirliton Au Gratin. It's got homegrown mirlitons, a little onion, a little garlic, some milk or heavy cream, a little flour to thicken it up, some butter of course, and you top that all with a wonderful Havarti cheese. So stay tuned. So for this recipe we're going to start with 3 Louisiana Heirloom Mirliton, a 1/4 cup of salted butter, going to go with a 1/2 cup of yellow onion chopped and 6 cloves of garlic chopped, 1/8 cup of flour, a cup of 1/2 and 1/2 or milk, a cup of Havarti cheese, shredded preferably, and some Tabasco, and we'll also add some parsley flakes. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to peel the mirliton. The outside skin is a little tough to eat, well, although some people do it, but I just get a potato peeler like I just showed, and you just peel it. And you can either, I think for this recipe, cutting it into disc works a little better. So you see I've peeled it here. I still got a little bit of peel on it, but what I can do now is try to cut it in half, and I'll get rid of some of that extra peel. So now I take my knife, slice it right down the center, and now you can see the seed and the little membrane around it, and we're going to scoop that seed out. Right around there can tend to be a little tough, so you want to get some of that. It's a little fibrous. So I'll go ahead and remove that part as well. Now I'll cut it up into slices. You can see those are about maybe a 1/4 inch at most. And there's my prep work, all ready to go. I've cleaned up the outer edges of those mirliton. I've got my butter melted, flour, onions chopped, garlic chopped, milk measured out, and as I said, clean mirliton, the Havarti cheese, and I'm ready to go. So as you can see, I've melted my butter, and I've got my sliced mirliton, and I put it in the pan, and I'm going to let all that get coated as I stir it around. The intention here is just simply to pre-cook it a little bit, brown it some, and I'm going to add some salt as well for just a little slight seasoning, but this was salted butter, so you may just want to use your discretion. So for 3 good-sized mirliton, an 8x8 casserole dish works best for this recipe. You can see I tried to get them all evenly laid out there. Now with the remaining butter in that pan, go ahead and put in your chopped onions. So it'll have the flavor of the sautéed mirliton and the butter. And then add to that, after a couple of minutes, your chopped garlic. Remember, you want to do your onions first because you don't want to roast the garlic. You just want the garlic to be cooked. You'll do this 5 minutes till they're tender. So this next step, after the onions and garlic have been sauteing a while, is we're going to add some flour. And the intention here is it kind of creates almost like you're making a very small roux with it. It'll absorb whatever oils are left in there, and it'll help to thicken out the sauce that you're about to create. We'll add a little bit of Tabasco to your liking, and then just a little bit of salt. So we'll do that. We'll now follow it up with the half and half, and this will create the sauce. Stir it in slowly, just to kind of absorb everything, and then we're going to let it cook down for about 5 minutes till it thickens. You can see it comes along nicely. A whisk works out well here to make sure it gets all the flour. And now we're going to pour that over the mirliton that's in the pan. So as you can see, we made sure that our sauce is covered completely in all the nooks and crannies of the mirliton, the casserole dish. And the next step will be to prepare our Havarti cheese. Now, I didn't get a block of cheese, but I had these, so instead of shredding it, I'm just going to slice it. And I've placed those slices just right over the top like that. Very generous amount of cheese, I should say. And then top it off with a little dried parsley and put it in a 350-degree oven. So after it's been in that 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes, you take it out until the edges are starting to bubble. You can see the finished product there. And it smells really good too. I'd let it rest a few minutes, 15 minutes, to make sure everything's not, the sauce is not too runny. Go ahead and scoop you a big old serving of that. It is really decadent, rich, creamy, wonderful. And there you have it, folks. That's good eating. Well, folks, there you have it. I hope you like that first recipe of Mirliton Au Gratin. I got to tell you, all that cheese and that creamy sauce, really, that made a wonderful dish. And I think the whole family enjoyed it too. So I highly recommend you trying it out. And let me know if you do. Send me a comment at rpcajun2r@gmail.com or leave me a comment in the section below. Oh, also one more thing. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Also, if you do me a favor, subscribe to my channel by clicking the red subscribe button below and click that bell so you'll be alerted to upcoming Mirliton episodes and recipes. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.